Why am I like this? We are 20 days from our departure to our Japan trip, and I've now decided that there are things that I need to make and take with me. Why? Well, because that's apparently the way that I am. And the things in my head, the things that I'm going to be making are pretty simple. We shall see if they actually get done. What we're thinking is a bucket hat, because it's going to be summer and it's going to be very sunny. The second thing I'm thinking is one of those pouches that kind of like go over your shoulder. I want to make a cute one. I've been meaning to make one for a while. And the third thing is actually knit, and it's the Beachy Breezy cardigan. I cast off the back panel yesterday, so we might get somewhere with that. I'm currently... And I've cast on the front panel, so let's go along on this making journey together. For the hat, I'm thinking of using this book that I bought in Japan in the first trip we had to Japan and make this bucket hat. I absolutely love the style and the way it's just constructed in pieces, and I especially love that granny square. Now, I have this beautifully neutral yarn that I think would make a gorgeous hat, especially if I pair it with a little pop of green. And the garment pattern that I've ambitiously decided needs to be made for Japan is this Stacey top from the Filigree book. I don't actually think I'll get to this one, but who knows? Okay, let's study the hat pattern, which honestly looks very simple, and let's cast on. Now, don't come at me for using that. I just really like the term cast on for starting a new project. It doesn't matter if it's crochet or knitting. And we start off strong with that worsted weight cotton yarn and a 4.25mm crochet hook. And if you've ever made a hat, or at least all the hats that I've made, start the same way. We start with working in the round, and we increase in the round until we get a dimension that's going to fit or go over our head. So that's what we're doing here, my friends. That is what we're doing here. This is obviously going to take a while, so I'm going to put on a podcast. I'm going to see what I find on my subscriptions list. This time I settled in with a podcast episode of Sandra from Cherry Heart and continued crocheting these rounds of single crochet, which I don't know about you, but I greatly dislike having to work projects that require me to work at a very tight gauge, which is why I'm not much of an amigurumi maker, but I really want the finished item. We've crocheted for 30 minutes straight, and I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 rounds in those 30 minutes, and my wrist is killing me. So I'm gonna do some arm exercises, and then I'm gonna wash dishes. I am not a medical professional. These are just the exercises that my chiropractor has recommended, or that I've looked up on YouTube from occupational therapists that just help me along, managing the pain in my hands and my elbows. Yeah, I just, that disclaimer. Morning. PSA. Don't leave the kitchen a mess from the night before. But first, I'm gonna have a cup of tea, and then I'll deal with everything. I don't know if you'll be able to hear me because I have the air fryer going on in the background, but I don't typically put milk into this honey tea light, candlelight. I'll put the proper name on the screen. I don't generally put milk, but not bad. That little tiny splash of milk feels like a treat, breakfast treat. Now I'm going to knit a little bit on my Beachy Breezy Cardi. Alright, it is now 7 p.m. We just got back from dinner, from having sushi. We had already planned to go out and have sushi, but it also turned into a celebration of me winning the Cozy Games giveaway. Kennedy of Cozy K did a beautiful giveaway and I won. Okay, now we're gonna sit and do some crochet, some more rounds on this hat. Can you tell that I wasn't vibing with the book that I was reading? I mean, I actually returned that loan early to the library because even though I really wanted to like the book, I just wasn't vibing with it, you know? When you don't like a book, do you push through, or do you do like me and just like don't even bother finishing it, just return it, or, you know, put it in the donation pile? Well, I should start off with good morning. It is no, why was I gonna say it's Wednesday? It's Saturday, and I've been up since 4 a.m. because we had a very terrific thunderstorm. I'm waiting for my second cup of tea to brew, and wanted to inform you that there's been a change of plans in this little crafty vlog. I'll share. Time to quite literally spill the tea. I told you on Instagram yesterday about this mug, and I'm going to be showing it off at every single opportunity. And if I show it off in enough of my content, it counts as a business expense, right? I'm just kidding. I absolutely loved this scalloped edging mug, and especially because the inside isn't scalloped. Anyway, you probably don't really want to know about my mug. You want to know about the project and what changed. Okay, so last night you saw me crafting a little bit in this hat. And I was originally making the bucket hat from the Japanese magazine that I shared at the very beginning of the video, craft vlog. But I don't know what I was doing. I opened up something, probably Pinterest. Yeah, I opened up Pinterest. And you know how you get the recommendeds in your home feed? And they knew I was working on hats. They knew. And in popped up this picture of a bow hat. And it was love. So of course I immediately had to change my plans. I found several patterns. One's available, I think the most famous pattern is available via Etsy, but I actually used a tutorial because it was one of the first things that popped up in my search when I literally searched for crochet bow hat. And it just so happens that in the tutorial she's using the same stitch count that I was using for the bucket hat. Magic. So I took the message and I am now crafting a bow hat. Can you tell? No, because I'm quite literally in the same step that I was yesterday, but I just wanted to preemptively inform you about this change of plans. You may also be wondering, so if you got up at 4 in the morning, what did you craft? I knit on my Beachy Breezy Cardi. Let me show you where we're at with that panel. And this is the front panel that I'm working on. That's why it looks so tiny, but look how much it's going to stretch. Just look at that. So now I'm just gonna do mundane things like, can you hear the sizzling in the background? That is my hash brown getting ready with my vegan sausages to go into a breakfast burrito. That's the mundane thing I'm gonna do. A breakfast burrito, finish my second cup of tea, and keep crafting. God, overhead lighting is always just so... breakfast burrito on the works. We got cheese sauce, we got hash brown, we got those vegan sausages, and we got vegetarian scramble right here, crumbled sauce, those sausages on top, and oh, is this filling, but delicious. And after that delicious, nutritious meal, it was time to work on none of the projects that I talked to you about because I'm going to the beach with Chelsea tomorrow, and I found an unfinished Shelia tankini that is so close to being finished. I'm gonna close this one off with, the clasps of the bra at the back. Listen, that Saturday Clarissa was really hopeful that she was gonna get this finished, but Wednesday Clarissa, because yes, this is Wednesday Clarissa here, no, she did not in fact finish this, okay? There were some issues, mostly with the straps, but yeah. The reason you keep seeing me work on the same probably round of project is because I've been crafting in the kitchen. I've been making messes in the kitchen, which is why I haven't shared it with you, because it really is a mess. Let me flip you. Okay, we've got blueberry danishes, this time without the cheese. We've got sourdough cheese crackers. We've got hummus, and this is peeling the hummus. Peeling the chickpeas creates a very smooth hummus, especially if you add ice cubes to it. So that's what was done here. And the rest of the kitchen my husband cleans, so it's not too bad. But I'm just a crafty chaos gremlin, and I'm gonna finish up here today and catch up with you tomorrow at the beach with Chelsea. And now to actually work on a crochet bow hat, because at the beach I just really got it full of sand. I rarely worked on it. I'm not a type of person that can like talk and crochet at the same time, and I really wanted to catch up with Chelsea and just hang out and soak in all those vibes. So really I just took my project for a stroll and to get in some beachy air and some sand and some vitamin D. Today's Wednesday, and why is it that every time I get in front of the camera, I just say today's Wednesday? Today is Monday. Today is Monday, the day after Sunday, the day after I spent the morning at the beach with Chelsea, her husband, my husband, and Chelsea's dog, Rudy. Now that we've established a chain of event, let's catch you up on crochet, but first I'm going to finish my green tea before it gets cold, because you all know that tea either burns you or is cold, so. And this is what the crochet bow hat was looking like. At this point, I had separated for the actual bow part, and honestly, I was liking the fit. I just needed to work a wider brim, and yeah. So far so good, honestly. The other thing that I have been working on more off camera than on camera has been the Beachy Breezy Cardi, and here we have it in all its teeny tiny front panel splendor. If you, like me, think this is way too small, I know, I was scared of it too, but look at this stretch. I think we're gonna be good. Let's just continue working on this crochet bow hat, and honestly at this point I feel a little bit silly just recording myself working on it because it's single crochet stitches. Nothing much is going to change here. It's going to keep being single crochet stitches in the round, but I hope you find this time relaxing. Because we're just continuing on with the single crochet stitches in the round, I felt very confident watching a YouTube video, and I remembered I hadn't finished my under a tin roof video, so we're gonna watch that while we crochet more rounds on this bow hat. Now we're gonna wrestle with this ball of yarn trying to find that center pull tail, which, you know, ultimately we didn't, and defeated, I just gave in and used the outside yarn tail. This is our progress for today, about 3 rounds, but you know the rounds are getting bigger, so there's that. For now, I'm gonna go empty the dishwasher and then reload the dishwasher, housework, and then I'll get back to work. Also, did I mention I was crocheting an hour and a half and I only did 4 rounds? But we have a lot of stitches and each round is an increase, so I guess I shouldn't despair. But I am. I thought this was going to be a quick make, hence the vlog. It's Tuesday and we are binding off one of our front panels, and I couldn't be more excited. After this, we are going to block it just to make sure that it's going to stretch how I think it's going to stretch. And then maybe we can cast on the second front panel. I say that's good soup. Now that we've made good soup, it is time to pick up our crochet hook and, well, crochet on and on and on. The last round of the hat, I thought that I could just insert the hat wire in my crab stitch round, but I was mistaken. My wire wasn't being hidden well enough for my taste, so actually I just frogged this all back and did my last single crochet round while crocheting over the wire, and that worked a lot better at hiding my stitches. Okay, so I've been crocheting on that hat on and off for an hour between casting off and blocking the pieces, or at least washing the pieces for our cardigan. I am now going to stop working on the hat for a little bit. I'm actually going to go do some work for the other parts of the Crochet Cakes YouTube channel, and I will catch you later where we will finish this hat. We are so close, and also cast on for the second front panel for the cardigan. And maybe I'll do some sewing. I really want to do some sewing. You know, like a little pouch to put on my charging cables. That would be great. I hope you can see me. I have the camera facing the other way, so I can't really see the viewfinder. But this is where we are at with our crochet hat. I actually finished all the crochet yesterday. I finished it off camera. As I was saying, I added the hat wire yesterday, crocheted over it, and then I did a little edging in crab stitch. So now all that we're missing to do is to actually tie our bow together. You know, be happy with the placement of it, just tie it together. And in this middle where we're going to tie it, I want to be using some pearls. Okay, I finished fussing with the bow, so now we can actually tie it together in the center with the pearls. My original idea was to use these small glass pearls, but neither the crochet hook or the needle fit through the hole, so I actually just went and got one of my faux pearl necklaces and I cut it up. And voila, we have fake pearls that are big enough for both my crochet hook to fit into, as well as a needle so that I can just thread it completely in my Aunt Lydia's number 3 cotton. To make the center tie, I used, like I said, Aunt Lydia's 3 with a 2.3mm crochet hook that I bought in Japan during our last trip, and I did a foundation single crochet of 5, and then I just proceeded to do a couple of rounds of single crochets without any of the pearls so that they would tie in the back, and you know, no need to waste fake pearls if nobody's gonna see the back tie. And after that, I just alternated rows with pearls and without pearls until I was satisfied. I did a total of 4 rows with pearls. This is what the finished band looks like. As I said, I did a total of 4 rows with pearls, but remember I was putting my pearls every other row, and then I just cut a long enough tail to be able to use a yarn needle to stitch the back closed and then stitch the bow to the actual hat. Now that I finished my crochet bow hat, I feel safe in starting a sewing project because my sewing machine and I fight a lot, or more like my sewing skills and I fight a lot. And you know what? I haven't really nurtured them that much lately, so I can't even be upset about that. Here I traced a pattern that I think I would like to make my charge cable pouch thing, and I used, you know, scrap tissue paper I had lying around. Let's hope it works. Let's talk fabric. So I got this beautiful pink fabric that was a gift from a lovely viewer of this YouTube channel, and then this other Alice in Wonderland fabric that's kind of like a canvas I bought on our first trip to Japan. And for the zipper, I think I'm gonna go with the blue one because it just matches the dress on both fabrics well. And you know, her dress in the movie was blue. As Rachel Maxey would say, it is now time to begin my transformation into a floor troll. And no, short dresses are not proper floor troll attire, but we're ignoring that in favor of making absolutely 100% sure that I am pinning this fabric correctly. Spoiler alert, I still managed to fudge that up, but you know, you live and you sometimes learn. Not all the time, honestly. It's been about 2 years since I've sewn a zipper to a bag, so I was confused. Just yeah. Thus begins my battle with getting the fabric to remain in the place that I pinned it. And yes, I did iron this multiple times, both the lining and the outer layer. this is also the reason why I stopped selling bags in my Etsy store, because it took me forever and a day to complete just one bag. Right, we've got the zipper in, and now it is time to actually sew this bag together, but I think I'll do that no, you know what, I'll do that tonight, at least the sides, and then I'll come back tomorrow for the actual boxing of the bottom. Two very dodgy seams later, and at least the side seams are dodgy, but the bottom seams are pretty okay. So we are actually ready to box the bottom, because who am I kidding? I'm not going to bed until I finish this. Good morning. It is Thursday, May 16th, and it is like 7:30 a.m. I've been up since 5, if you were wondering. And we finished 2 of the pieces that we set out to make. Last night I almost finished this pouch. I just have to seam the inside so that it is all nice, and it is very, very dodgy. As you can see, like, it just slants one way. But it works, it's functional, and it opens very wide, and it's small, which is what I wanted, because this is going to be holding my charging cables and such so that I don't lose them. And now that we've finished one sewing project, I think we can tackle another one maybe later on, but what we should really do is start our next crochet project. And unlike my very ambitious Delulu wishes, we are not starting the garment. We're not starting the daisy top from the filigree book, because it just won't be done in time. I guess we could start it, but really a week out of, like, next week is our last full week. I don't think I should be starting another garment and forcing myself to finish it. So what we're going to do instead is we're going to take another peek at the granny square book, and we're going to choose a granny square to make a crossbody bag. Oh, and we're going to be using the same cotton yarn that we used for the hat, because I have a lot of it and it's nice neutral. One of the many beautiful squares that are included in this book, I decided to go with one that's similar to the Sunburst Granny Square. It just starts out differently. But I don't know, I really like the Sunburst Granny Square, and this square was easy to follow, fun to memorize, and easy to crochet up, honestly. I sit before you all dressed up with a cup of tea, and that's a tepid cup of tea, so I'm gonna drink this and come back. Yeah. Cup of tea, cup of tea is finished, so let's just do a little wrap up of this crafty vlog. I am very happy with everything that we managed to finish. We have 3 finished items and one that is mostly finished. So the first thing that we finished was this hat. I did wear it out to a festival and I loved it. It just looked so great with a skirt and a top. It just dressed up the outfit so well. I am definitely in love with the little pearl detail that we added. Now, if you want to make one of these hats, I think it would look great with a wider brim. However, because we have such a weighty back, because this bow has a lot more fabric, I don't think it would have taken that wider brim, if you know what I mean. But, you know, it's 100% cotton yarn with a 4.25 4mm crochet hook, and I think it sits rather fetchingly. Now, it's a little bit haphazard right now because I did have it kind of bundled up, just making sure that I could roll it up and pack it to fit nicely in my luggage, because that's where it's going to live for like 24 hours. So we finished that one. The second item that we finished was it this pouch? Anyway, this pouch, I love how it came out. I loved the use of the fabrics that I finally got, and I love that it's Alice in and Alice out. I got such a joy out of making this little dodgy bag, and it is dodgy, like it is far from perfect, but I'm very happy, and hopefully it'll hold a lot of cables so that I can just make sure that all my charging stuff is in that bag. Then we completed this crossbody bag, and I've been wanting to make a crossbody bag for a long time, but I will say that I don't actually like the functionality of it. I loved making it. I think it's a very brilliant design, and I love sewing the zipper to the crochet and then adding the zipper and the lining inside. I loved every aspect of making this bag. However, I do not think it is the most functional of bags because everything just falls in the middle. Like this sides, they never get to hold anything. It just all falls down in the middle. Now right now I do have a small wallet and a coin purse in here, and it does hold my phone. And I did make the lining very stretchy because sometimes when we crochet we tend to make the lining tight, and that kind of confines the crochet. But I didn't do that because I really wanted it to be able to stretch. But as I said, nothing really falls down into these corner areas, so that's a bit of wasted space. I think a square crossbody bag would be a much better use of materials, and functionality wise, it would just, I think, be better if you kind of like added another square, maybe down here at the bottom, and then you made bigger squares, perhaps then. But overall, I am super happy with the makes, and the yarn that I used to make this crossbody bag is the same yarn that we used to make the hat, so it's just 100% cotton. It's washable. The fabric inside is mushrooms, which just thrills me. And in order to do that, we have a double lining, I guess, because we have this outside also has mushrooms, and then the inside has mushrooms. So I just lined it double. Also gives the bag stability and prevents the crochet from stretching so much. The other thing that I really wanted to finish but hasn't, but we're getting there. I think I can finish it, at least the knitting part. It is the Beachy Breezy Cardi. This is such a lightweight, fluffy, beautiful project, and it helped me understand 2 things. It is very hard to seam fluffy yarn, but more importantly, I understand the desire, the obsession, the thrill of working with Suri alpaca. This was the first time I had ever worked with Suri alpaca, and it is oh, it is beautiful. It's just so buttery and soft, and it really just feels like the warmest, coziest hug of your life. And it has me on the lookout for any Surrey alpaca sales, because I think a blanket in this yarn would probably be the most cozy endeavor ever. And it feels really silly to say that because Surrey alpaca is pricey, but it is worth every single price. This colorway that I am using is the Coquito colorway, and the Surrey alpaca is from the Little Wolf Knits, Bree of the Little Wolf Knits. I will put her details in the description box below. All the details or links that you're interested in should be in the description box below, and if they're not, feel free to comment and I will add them there for you, or link them directly in your comments. But for this one, I'm almost done because I only want 3/4 length sleeves, and we're getting there. So I think I can finish this sleeve today. Today is Tuesday, May something. Is it May 20th or is it May 19th? It is still May, and it is a Tuesday, and it is T-6 days before we leave on our trip. So I think I can finish this beauty up. And I'm so glad that you joined me on this crafty journey, because sometimes we put off tasks for so long, and then when we finally get around to them, we're like, why did I spend so much of my time putting off this task when it was doable and it brought me so much joy in the process and the finished item as well. So that's where I am with this crafty vlog, and I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed joining me for it and seeing all the stuff that we were all up to. If you would like, you can let me know what you are crafting in the comment section below. And of course, thank you so much for all your beautiful comments in the past vlogs that I've done on this channel, as well as the tutorials that I've recently shared. It really makes my day knowing that I am providing that service, that I'm explaining things in a way that you understand, and also that I'm just kind of keeping you company along in your crafty day. I know that loneliness is like a huge pandemic. We all feel it and we're afraid to talk about it. So thank you for trusting me. Thank you for letting me into your crafty lives. And whether you're watching from the TV, from your phone, from your iPad, from a computer, just thank you for spending a little bit of crafty time with me today. And I will see you in the next video, which will hopefully be a vlog all about Japan. Bye!